In every legal system, laws form a hierarchy. The Constitution takes precedence over statutes, and statutes usually take precedence over rules issued by the executive or government agencies. In countries with common law, statutes take precedent over it. Taking precedence means that the higher law prevails in the event of a conflict. The courts, as the main interpreters of law, must decide whether laws conflict. We have explained that judges make law indirectly by interpreting statutes or codes. Another way that judges make law is by finding a conflict between laws and setting aside the lower level law. Finally, judges make common law directly in those countries that maintain the common law system, a process we explain later in this chapter. Constitutions are necessarily general and vague, so their interpretation is especially problematic. The power to review legislation for its constitutionality gives courts the power, in principle, to set aside laws enacted by the legislature. This power is potentially dangerous because it brings judges into conflict with the elected representatives of the nation. The extent to which this power is exercised varies greatly from one country to another. In the United States, the federal courts have few limits on their ability to strike down laws that, in the court's opinion, contradict the Constitution. Some of the most profound laws in America have been made by courts interpreting the Constitution, as in Brown v. Board of Education in 1954, which eventually ended laws mandating racial segregation of schools. In other countries, such as Great Britain, the courts do not have the power to review statutes for their constitutionality, and the courts never strike down legislation as unconstitutional. The scope of constitutional review, which is fundamental to the power and prestige of courts, has no necessary connection with whether the country's legal tradition is common or civil law.